The mobmuseum.org says the Prohibition practically created organized crime in America. The Prohibition gave an opportunity for lowly criminals the chance to provide Americans the liquor that their liquor. There were bosses who managed a whole fleet of low-level criminals and really organized the crime process, including getting their rum runners to run booze to the speakeasies. Speakeasies were the worst kept secret of the Prohibition. Unless you could get a clearing from a doctor or a priest or a preacher for medical or religious reasons, then you had to sneak your liquor. So you were either going to make your own liquor, you were going to get your liquor from bootleggers, or you were going to go to speakeasies. One famous bootlegger his last name was Olmsted. He began as a cop and realized that there was a lack of organization in the bootleggers, and he then decided to become one. He realized that he could make more money, and he started off as a cop, and that's how he realized that the bootleggers were lacking organization, and he got arrested for bootlegging and then lost his job as a cop, so he became a full-time and highly successful bootlegger. Keeping up with the bootleggers and the speakeasies was challenging for the police in the 20s, but there were multiple crimes on the rise, including bank robberies, kidnapping, gambling, drugs, and they were increasing in popularity because there were criminals everywhere running back and forth. The police forces were typically, they didn't have as high machinery or weapons, and they were often outnumbered. So they had a lot of problems. The FBI was still young at this point and had a lot of internal problems until Hoover came along, and he got put into the FBI as a director in 1924, where he started cleaning house. The Bureau had about 650 employees when Hoover took over, including 441 special agents. Within 5 years of him taking over, the FBI had less than a total of 600 employees with 339 special agents, from all of his firing and cleaning house, from the internal issues with political people in the FBI that were just there for their own reasons. Eliot Ness was also a very important person in the era of the Prohibition. He was on the assignment of taking down Al Capone. At one point, his best friend was murdered by Al Capone's men, and so he called Al Capone and then told him to look out the window, and then he paraded all the cars that he had impounded past Al Capone's building and told him that they were going to be auctioned and all of that stuff. He actually did take Al Capone to court, but he didn't get him arrested for the Prohibition Volstead Act laws. Al Capone actually got arrested for tax evasion So he won, but he didn't win on his cause. On average, 1,000 people died every year from the government poisoning alcohol that was going out during the Prohibition. They lost my number. 11 billion in tax revenue from the bars and liquor being sold, and cost 300 million to pay the FBI and enforce with police officers to arrest people for trafficking alcohol. It became alcohol became more dangerous to consume, and crime became more organized. It was not successful, and it was just a good point of why we shouldn't ban things to get our point across. Thank you.